Hey friends, hey guys, welcome to today's vlog video. It's a vlog, no, it's a video. Welcome to today's video. I haven't filmed a sit down video in quite some time, and I actually really love doing these, and I have a story to tell. A story to tell. So I wanted to sit down and share with you guys. It has officially been 1 month off of birth control. I had my IUD removed a little over 1 month ago, and we have some things to talk about post birth control removal. Yes, we do, friend, yes, we do. So if that's what you came for, stick around because let's have a conversation. So if you have not seen my previous video where I was diagnosed with PCOS and I had my birth control removed a week or two, I think it was 2 weeks later, I will throw those up here at some point or leave them down below for my Facebook friends. It's been an interesting month. Actually, it's been an interesting last couple of weeks. I had some serious side effects from getting my birth control removed, and I thought I would experience them all immediately after getting the IUD removed. If you don't know, I had the Mirena IUD for 6 years. It's supposed to be in for 5, but technically it can be in for 7. And I'm a Google person. I am a hypochondriac, so naturally I look up all symptoms, signs, all the things. And I was fully prepared for the Mirena crash, or the crash that comes after having your birth control removed, which I think for the first couple of days after having it removed, I didn't feel great. And I definitely didn't feel fantastic at all, but it went away. And I also received a menstrual cycle. I don't know how I'm gonna word that, so I don't know. I mean, we're women. If you're watching this, you're probably a woman. So I had what I thought was my first menstrual cycle about a week after post removal, and it was fine. It was like what I remembered it to be, you know, all the things. Like, it's not a good time, but it wasn't gonna, you know, it wasn't the worst. This is where things get super interesting. The last 2 weeks, I have thought I was pregnant. So for the last 2 weeks, I thought I was pregnant. Yes, I did. I took so many pregnancy tests. I mean, so many pregnancy tests, to the point where I thought I started seeing faint lines, and I'm pretty sure you can kind of see one on here. I actually filmed all of this because I was freaking out. I had absolutely no idea what I was experiencing. All I could equate it to was it was the same feelings I experienced when I was pregnant with Ella, from what I remember. Turns out I am not pregnant at all. It was PMS, and I was totally not ready for it. It was a nightmare. It still is. I'm actually currently experiencing my first menstrual cycle, my first real menstrual cycle after getting off birth control. Apparently, this is my first cycle. So I did my full 28 days or 27 days, however many days it takes to get to your cycle. And I experienced 2 weeks of PMS, not just mood swings, not all that, but like I had some serious side effects or PMS symptoms that I just don't remember having. I had insanely sore and tender breasts. I mean, to the point where how am I not pregnant? I don't understand. Like, this is ridiculous. I know that that can also be a symptom of PMS. A lot of things are a symptom of PMS, can feel similar to early pregnancy symptoms, and I'm very in tune with my body. I know when things aren't right. I know when things feel different, and it was just unreal. Like, unreal. I was nauseous for 3 days in a row, like all day long. My appetite has been practically non-existent, which is kind of fun for weight loss and kind of sucky for everything else. I have been nauseous up until the day that I actually started my cycle, and it was a lot. I don't think anybody really truly prepared me for what this was going to be like. I have had a birth control for 6 years that stopped me from having my menstrual cycle, and it was great. Like, I mean, I forgot what it was like to do this whole, you know, like once a month woman thing, and wow, fun times around here, let me just say. I will say there are as many negatives as I'm sharing with you guys about getting the birth control removed. I 100% do not regret it. Overall, my anxiety, I've had a couple of anxious days, but I typically have a generalized anxiety disorder, so there's always like a hum there of anxiety, like a baseline. I haven't really experienced that until like last week. I had a couple days where I just like had a mental breakdown, and I could not get it together. It was just the weirdest thing. Like, my whole day was just amped up. But on that note, I also thought I was pregnant, so I was totally freaking out, thinking that I was gonna have a baby. I'm supposed to lose weight. I need to lose 40 pounds. I can't get pregnant yet. What if I don't love the baby the same way I love Ella? You know, all those things that go rushing through your mind when you think you're about to have a second child 1 month after getting your birth control removed. Turns out I'm not as ready for a baby as I thought I was. So that was a really good kickstart, jumpstart to actually be very, very safe when it comes to getting pregnant, because we weren't, and I thought that I wanted a baby, but I didn't like want one right away, or I do. So I'm struggling with the thoughts of having a second child now, and that's just the honest truth. Like, I'm scared, and I think every person or parent is scared when the thought, or you get pregnant with your second, or you know, you just, the thought of having another baby in general is just, can be terrifying. And I've just been feeling all the feelings, which is not anything new around here. I'm a feeler. I feel all the emotions. I feel all the things. But the symptoms that I've experienced post birth control have been so interesting, and I had no idea that the Mirena really affected my mood as much as it did, and my appetite as much as it did. One huge plus side of getting off birth control is my appetite, especially at night, and especially for sweets, has gone down by like 80-90%. I do not eat at night like I ate before. I mean, I would get these intense cravings at night for sweet things, and I could not help myself. It felt like pregnancy cravings when I had the IUD. And post IUD removal, I don't have those cravings anymore. They're not there. I have every once in a while, because I am a big girl and I like food, and I obviously want to eat sweets, but I don't eat them to the extent that I did. And it's definitely helped and aid in my weight loss, which is nice. I think somehow the birth control was doing something to my hunger, or doing something in that realm. I'm not sure how all of that works. You know, science, not my gig. But I definitely, like, the biggest thing I wanted to share with you guys is I definitely thought I was pregnant, and I went about the steps of, you know, taking a pregnancy test and buying them. I took so many. I can't even tell you how many I took. I probably took like 9. I'm not even kidding, because I was like, I have to be pregnant. I would only be like 2 weeks pregnant or a week pregnant, but I thought for sure I was pregnant. I was looking up ovulation signs and symptoms, and I thought I had everything, and it was so scary. So scary. And I know I've talked about like my heart wanting a second child, and I truly do want a second child, but I do want to do it the right way, and I want to be healthy, and I do want to lose the weight first. So I think it was kind of like God's way of being like, okay sis, like, you say you want a baby, well, I'm gonna scare you real quick and show you that maybe perhaps you should get yourself together first before you decide to have a second child. So definitely going to be more careful in the coming months. I definitely want to keep you guys updated as well, because this is something that I was Google searching out the wazoo. I was looking for YouTube videos on IUD removals or birth control removal. Like, what are the symptoms you faced? What are the signs you had? Like, did it affect you after it came out? It 1000% did affect me, and it affected me like way later on than I thought it would. I thought for sure I would have like the crash and feel terrible like immediately for however long. There's people who say they feel weird for months. Maybe I will, I don't know. But this month, PMS, I guess that was PMS that I was feeling. I had every symptom you can imagine. I had headaches. There was one point where I got dizzy, and I never have gotten dizzy, and it gave me a panic attack because I was like, I'm having a stroke. You know, all those super fun things that come with being a hypochondriac and having anxiety. I had every single symptom you can imagine, and it wasn't like I was bringing them upon myself. Like, I literally was feeling all of these things. Headaches, you know, tender breasts. I had super sore things happening. My back hurt. Like, I've never, even pre-birth control, fun fact, I was only ever on birth control after I had my daughter. I was never on birth control prior to having her, so I don't know any different. And I was on it for 6 years, so I really don't know any different. And I never had a bad period ever in my life. It was pretty normal and very short, and I got very lucky. Seems to be that I am not so lucky this time. I don't know, maybe it's because my body's, you know, getting back to normal, but I have a very heavy period this month, and it's awful, and I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy, and I truly don't know if I can sustain this for how long. It's awful. But the good news is I am healthy, and I feel like long term, I definitely don't ever want to do an IUD again. I just don't feel comfortable having something in my body for that long of a time, especially after experiencing what I'm experiencing now, having it removed. I think that my hormones are jacked. I think they're messed up, and I think they need to regulate themselves for a few months before we even think about trying to have a baby. It's been an interesting month. It's been very interesting, very, very, very interesting. And it's been a lot of Google searches and a lot of just feeling weird and feeling emotional, but also feeling better and happier, and just like the world is brighter. I just feel like the dark clouds kind of been lifted. I don't know what that's attributed to, other than like the big major change I've had is the birth control being removed, and also my husband coming home. So I had major life changes mixed in with all of this. So it's really hard to say, other than like the physical symptoms that I 1000% felt. It's hard to say emotionally and anxiety wise how much of this is attributed to the birth control and how much is from my like major life changes. I really don't know. But I did want to share this with you because I was looking for all of these things. I wish somebody would have sat down and told me like what I was gonna expect. It was a lot, and I want to hear from you guys. If you guys have had your birth control removed, or you've like thought about it, or you've had it removed and got another one, did you experience stuff like this? What was your experience after getting off birth control of any kind, but especially a Mirena IUD or an IUD? I'm interested to hear how that affects other people, because I've never experienced anything like this before. It's been very interesting, and I'm pretty sure Clear Blue and whatever tests these are, they are gonna buy themselves a nice steak dinner with as many pregnancy tests as I bought. It was insane. I kept taking them. I'm like, I have to be. There's no way I'm not. And I'm not at all. Like, I'm not. Like, even a little bit. There's no way. So it's interesting. Now I really feel like I have to really get in tune with my body and like navigate this whole PMS thing again, because it's just something else, I tell you. And I don't want you guys to feel alone. If you're going through it, or if you have like really bad PMS, oh my gosh, my heart hurts for you, because wow, it's a lot. It's not something that's really talked about a whole bunch, and I know it's kind of taboo to talk about it a little bit, but we're all girls here, and if you're watching this, you're probably a girl too, and it's just solidarity, sis. Solidarity. It's a hard knock life being a woman. I told my girlfriend, I was like, I can't believe I have to do this every month. Also, I want to fill you guys in. I'm very regular. So that's a good thing, because I was also diagnosed with PCOS in the mix of this, and I had no idea if I was going to have a regular period, and I do. So that's a good sign, I think. I'm going to be navigating this, trying to conceive, trying to lose weight, trying to be my best self journey with you guys as always. I love to share our daily life with you on the vlogs. I love sharing Ella. I love sharing our day to day. But I also want to sit down every once in a while and like have a real chit chat, or, you know, do what makes me feel good, or what I think may help you. And if this helps anyone in any way feel either less alone, or like you can, you know, pinpoint your symptoms, or at least relate a little bit to me, that's all that matters to me here. And I really do love you guys. If you have any questions about specific symptoms or anything, leave them down below. If you have any tips how to get through this, let me know, leave them down below. And if you've had a similar experience, or, you know, a different experience, also let me know down below. I want to hear from you guys. As always, I love you so much, and we will see you in the next video. I love you. Did I say that already 15 times? I'm very emotional. Did I say that? Probably. Turn it into a drinking game. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye, friends.